Warriors, sin is not just a mistake, it is poison. And like poison, it does not need to be consumed in large amounts to do its damage. It starts small, a compromise here, a little indulgence there, a small step away from the path of righteousness. And before you realize it, that one small step has led you miles away from where you were supposed to be. The Bible warns us, do you not know that a little leaven leavens the whole lump? 1 Corinthians 5:6. What does that mean? It means that sin, no matter how small, spreads. It infects, it corrupts. It is never satisfied with just a foothold. It demands more. A little pride leads to arrogance. A little lust leads to addiction. A little dishonesty leads to a life built on lies. Sin will never stop at just once. It will always pull you further than you wanted to go, keep you longer than you wanted to stay, and cost you more than you ever expected to pay. Too many warriors fall because they underestimate sin. They laugh at what they once called wicked. They excuse what they once avoided. They justify what they once repented of. And the moment they let their guard down, the enemy strikes. David didn't wake up one day and decide to commit adultery and murder. It started with one moment of weakness, one decision to stay home instead of going to battle, one lingering look that turned into sin. Samson didn't lose his strength overnight. It was slowly drained from him as he played with temptation, thinking he was still in control. And Judas didn't just wake up and decide to betray Jesus. His heart was already compromised long before he took the silver. Sin is not to be played with, it is to be killed. You do not reason with a deadly enemy. You do not give it room to breathe. You cut it off before it takes root. Jesus said, if your right hand causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away. Matthew 5:30. That's how serious this war is. Sin is not something to manage. It is something to eliminate. You cannot keep the enemy inside your gates and expect to win the battle. But here is the truth that must not be forgotten. You cannot fight this battle alone. Sin is stronger than you. The temptations of the flesh, the desires of the world, the attacks of the enemy. You will not overcome them by sheer willpower, but you can overcome them through Jesus Christ. You are not left to fight this war alone. Jesus came not only to save you from the punishment of sin, but to set you free from its power. So if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. John 8:36. He has given you the strength to resist temptation, the power to walk in righteousness, and the grace to rise again when you fall. No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind, and God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, He will also provide a way out so that you can endure it. 1 Corinthians 10:13. Jesus does not leave His warriors defenseless. He gives you a way out, but you must take it. You must make war against sin, but you must not fight in your own strength. Rely on Christ. Call on His name. He will strengthen you. He will deliver you. He will give you victory. For sin shall no longer be your master, because you are not under the law, but under grace. Romans 6:14. This is the promise of God. You do not belong to sin. You belong to Him. So I ask you, warriors, what have you allowed into your life that needs to be destroyed? What little sin have you tolerated, thinking it's no big deal? What compromises have you made, thinking they won't lead anywhere dangerous? Make no mistake, sin will never stay small. It is a fire that will consume everything if left unchecked. Do not let it remain. Do not excuse it. Do not play with it. Kill it before it kills you. But do not fight this war alone. Run to Christ, lean on His strength. He is the King who fights beside you, and with Him, you will have victory. Guard your mind, guard your heart, guard your steps, and do not give the enemy even the smallest chance to destroy you. This is war, and a warrior must never be found unprepared. Stand firm, fight hard, call on Jesus and he will deliver you. And when the battle is over, you will stand victorious, not because of your own strength, but because of the power of the one who has already conquered sin and death.